So, Grand Rising at the time of this recording. This is Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower. November 1st, 2023, in the great state of Washington, from the Seattle airport. So, come on now. Like gang stalking, it's like stalking and singles only happens one at a time. And it's like, see, there's people down there, they are sleeping. We had somebody sleeping here earlier. We have somebody sleeping over here right now. But they honed in on me. Those two officers, Officer Breed, that was the surly one, and then the other one I think was Officer White. I'm glad they admitted they were targeting me for trespassing. So first of all, I'm a heavily targeted individual. They towed my truck out from underneath me after these gang stalkers had destroyed my power steering capacity when I was really supposed to get into an accident. And, you know, that didn't happen. God interceded, nestled me into a nice little spot. And now that I don't even have that, was not even offered the courtesy of sportsmanship by getting my stuff for the warmth. So, what you're witnessing, people, that's murder in the making. That's your white glove holocaust. Because if any of that was true, why didn't the cops check up on everybody else that was in my position at that current time? That's because it's discrimination. They're discriminating against their targeted individuals. And then you get the sniveling, groveling government grubbers in my comments saying horrible things to me. How much are they getting paid? Are they going to be martial law when InfraGard and Citizen Corps and FEMA get to be king during martial law? How many of you people or anybody in the fucking airport realize at this very moment FEMA has already 900 prison camps erected throughout the United States that no media crew is allowed to go visit? I mean, you talk about complicit, you talk about uneducated, and you talk about going along with the status quo, and you talk about being lazy as fuck. I'm like, okay, if you're called to serve and protect, and your police department does not have the subjective objective protocol to intercede on behalf of a targeted individual, that's a giant fuck you. That's a psyop. And to say that stalking happens in singles, but never in a group, that's psychotic. That's your government, that's your local police department, gaslighting the community at large so they can protect the cesspool bitches. They're protecting the cesspool. By default, they're protecting the child molestation privileges. So when your police department says gang stalking and does not even give you the dignity of a citizen by straight up answering, I'm like, okay, does your police department have subjective objective protocol to intercede on behalf of a targeted individual? And they go, what? That's because they're the fucking tool, and they get their hands greased, and they're protecting the child molestation privileges. So, it's just as good as saying, no, we like the child molestation privileges. We're going to make sure that avenue stays nice, high, and tight. We're not going to do a freaking thing to restore anybody's constitutionality rights that may have been usurped. We'll just keep targeting you. We'll just keep discriminating against you. And then we'll just keep maligning your character with more of that slander, more of that government-produced libel that everybody loves. So, fucking believe like goddamn sheeple, fucking lemmings, so they can get their personal greed gratified and pandered to. I'm like, okay, y'all are part of the problem here. Don't tell me you're part of the people leaders too. I'm like, is that the real discrimination going on here? Because it's not conducive to anybody's rights. So I'm like, okay, man, Debbie Cox, are you bumping uglies with Barbara Regali? Are you Barbara Regali? I'm like, the shit that you say is so evil. I'm like, there could only be one evil woman as dumb as that. Is that you? I'm like, okay, you're welcome to your fool-ass opinions. I welcome your fool-ass ways. Sure. But why are you watching my videos? I mean, don't you have something better to do with your time, like go masturbate or something? I'm like, don't you have something better to do with your time than comment on stuff you don't like? Is that how you spend your life? By looking at shit you can't stand? I'm like, okay, what have you ever done to contribute to the betterment of society? What kind of humanitarian are you? I'm like, okay, let me guess. You are about the greed. Do you build up society, or are you there just to tear it down? Because every time you comment on my videos, you're tearing me down with your little fucking pissant views. I'm like, okay, you're welcome to watch. I'm like, but again, I get a lot of haters hating on me. That's fine. You never had a goddamn conversation with me. And there you are, trying to malign me. Well, I'm over here being a goddamn superhero, standing up on my fucking own, trying to bring enlightenment as a lonely pissant. Okay, sure, whatever. But at best, I'm stepping out, speaking up and speaking out against atrocities, not just for me, but for the others who've already been murdered in this white glove Holocaust, with this Hitler's running all around the place pretending we're gang stalking. Okay, you clearly are part of the idiocracy, and you like that. I like, you know what? I have way too much personal gumption of self-respect than to lower my intelligence to that level. I like, okay, you want everybody to think you don't know what goddamn gang stalking is? All right. You want to put yourself out there being that uneducated, that hillbilly. I am from the South, but Houston does still have Texas still does have a town called Cut and Shoot. Okay, so I'm like, we're that hillbilly. Or else the name Cut and Shoot probably would have been revised by now. But why would they want to? Because, history is like the now Khalid, right? So why don't we just keep that there? So whatever. So unless you're out there, building up society, what good are you? I mean, unless you are about the ego, the greed, sowing the mayhem, the mischief, I'm like, okay, I would much rather get with somebody that has a sense of self-respect, that has a sense of integrity, and that has no price where they would compensate their morals just to come sideways at somebody for a little something, let alone from the goddamn government. I'm like, okay, you take government benefits to a whole new level. I'm like, you're the demographic that sold their soul just to get more something from the government. I'm like, okay, you'd have been better off just settling for the EBT card, like the true humanitarians do, that get targeted and railroaded out of their profession, get railroaded out of their career, and then get discriminated by all of these wanton sheeple lemmings that believes the government who passed out the smallpox blankets to the Indians. I'm like, okay, in this day and age, you're going along with the goddamn medieval as fuck witch hunt. How can you not see that? Oh, because the numbers tell you. Because your neighbor said it was okay. No. But because Willy Wonka and the League of Doom of the government you serve, the treason government. And again, what is the punishment for treason? First off, raise your hand if you even know what treason is. Okay, if you don't know what treason is, then you're part of the problem. And you obviously should never have been able to elevate beyond 5th grade. Now's a good time to fix that. Look up treason. And then look up what your forefathers decided that was worthy of. Because your government of Willy Wonka and the League of Doom, that's your treason government. That's your Hitler. That's your white glove Holocaust. That's your discrimination. And that is your social pastime of hunting down the targeted individuals and making them go through blood, sweat, pain, tears. Because how can you support yourself when you're blacklisted? And how can you even hunt and gather when these grocery stores will turn around and just call trespassing on you because they fucking felt like it? Meanwhile, that's growing a 3rd head, and the rest of you government grubbers getting your dick sucked because you ain't got no goddamn motherfucking integrity, and you hold out your liberties, and then turned around and taught your children how to be parasites to, compensate their integrity to get what they want and then down low. Look at the citizens you all are turning out. I mean, do we really need more parasites coming sideways at the freaking community at large? Because that's what y'all are doing. I mean, okay, if you're ignorant, that's one thing. Go educate yourself. And if you did it and don't care, well, then that makes you stupid. And that's what makes you dangerous to yourself and to others. I mean, where's the respect for George Washington? Where is the respect for our forefathers? Where is the respect for each one of the people that signed the goddamn Constitution? Because y'all aren't supporting that. You guys are still playing, let's get talking. I'm like, okay. You want to go with the status quo police department and continue showing up for work while there is no provisions made for subjective objective protocol to intercede on the behalf of targeted individuals? You guys hop right in the discrimination jump seat. Y'all should be shot. Because you're perpetuating the treason and you're protecting the treason. Not to mention you're protecting the child molestation privileges the gang stalking has been so handy to provide. So whatever. If you can't do the math, that's because you like your ignorance or you prefer your stupidity. Which one you fall into? I don't know. I know it's the same goddamn thing. Lack of constitution, lack of liberties, lack of justice, and socialized killing, socialized murdering. Y'all are participating in murder. Y'all are Hitlers. Okay, now wrap your brain around that and try to wake up. And Miss Debbie Cox, why are you here? I mean, okay, you want to run your dick into the ground and show everybody what a loyal subject you are to martial law? Go for it. But again, don't you have something better to do with your crusty pussy? Like, go get laid or something. I mean, you can stay off my channel, sure. But why? Why are you here? Again, if you cannot be part of the solution, why are you going to be part of the problem and somebody else's cross to bear? Is that the kind of person you really are? You're just a citizen to drain other citizens and to get what you can to serve your own greed instead of serve and elevate the community at large. Why aren't you making changes like that? Because you're lazy and you're greedy as fuck. I get it. Okay, thank you. I just have to make sure that the rest of the world can see you for what you are. I mean, of course, you're a government grubber, then you support that. Okay. Again, if you're government grubbing, I understand why you're here on my channel. That's because you're out there flipping coin for your something from the government, because you ain't got no goddamn self-respect. You don't even want, you would rather scheme and scam, plot and plan, than go out and invest in a real skill set to invest in your avatar. Instead, you're busy just trying to take down the other avatars around you and just take what they have and then turn around and discriminate and shit on them. Okay, whatever. So, okay. Just downstairs where I was not the only patron. Whatever, you know? I will abide by the rules of discrimination. I'll do that. I'll go vacate somewhere else. Again, I have the intelligence and this discernment to see it for what it's worth. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Man, I tell you what. It gets really difficult dodging and weaving all of this cacophony. But whenever I get an authentic spirit like that, man, it's like Nephilim. I think it was Nephilim. The Nephilim goddess Tarot 111. I think it was her who had said, those compliments, the uplifting of society. Those are like little miracles in of themselves. Because when you utilize that, you can elevate your high-flying disc, your mood, your vibratory frequency, and then be able to, create better. I'm still the work in progress, sure, but at least I'm deploying a template in a positive direction to embetter myself. And to embetter myself, I'm not trying to take it from somebody else's fucking hands. And I'm not trying to elevate myself by being a pissant on somebody else's fucking cross that they're bearing. I'm like, okay, whatever. We got citizens here that either want to help build up society or just take it from whatever somebody else has. I mean, if you want to be socialist that way, go for it. Meanwhile, the rest of America, who is trying to educate themselves from an upright position, are doing the soul searching and the education, the bandwagoning of self-awareness and how to protect yourself from the discrimination of all of this gang stalking. Because again, I'm just a template here. What's happening to me has happened to others, is happening to others, and just because it hasn't happened to you or your family doesn't mean it hasn't happened already and is happening on the down low. Because remember, they gather intel on you for about 2 or 3 years before they even begin to play with your psyche. So if you're being tailed, would you know what to look for? Because whether or not you're being tailed, you should have the discernment to walk into any place of business, take a look around, and be able to clock your goddamn gang stalkers. Because the opportunity is there. Just because you haven't built the eyesight for it, don't mean they're not there. Bitches, they're there. So whatever. But thank you for listening. And okay, government grubbers, if you want to hurl your comments some more, go for it. That's why they're open. But anyways, I still love you all. Because my hope is that you guys hit reset and all of that. Become the prodigal son, become prodigal daughter. And if you don't, well, good are you? Okay, you want to be a parasite and turn out more parasite citizens. And the rest of us that are holding tight to our ethical values, while the rest of the parasite citizens snuff us out. What kind of society are you really angling for? Because don't go into it blindly. Go into it knowing what you're doing. To serve your own greed, by coming at a targeted individual sideways, just so you can get your government grub on, since you were hand groomed to be a government handout recipient. So whatever. Because when those tables turn, they ain't never gonna turn back the other way. Me, I'll just hang tight till they do. So whatever. But at any rate, my wish is for everybody to elevate in love. And if you don't, okay, then just go away already. That would be the smart thing to do. Unless, of course, you are doing the government grub. Then we know why you're there hoeing out your abhorrent ways. So whatever. Okay, I got to get out of here. I love you guys. I'll be back.